immediately I went home and tried to make a demo account for stock trading, and I couldn't figure it out for nothing. The Funded Trader, which is so awesome, they could do a promo code where you start off with 90% payouts if you pass.
Right.
Like that's really insane when you
Hi guys, welcome to another TFT interview. This one is pretty interesting. So we've had like payout after payout after payout. So we gave you guys what you asked for. Like, to be honest, like we were doing just Funded Trader interviews at the beginning, and everyone was like, where's the real money at? And now we've kind of migrated to payout interviews. So I'll go ahead and just give the floor to you and take that back. Don't take it yet. Don't forget to hit the bell, hit the like button, subscribe. I should have this memorized by now, but I don't. Drop a comment if I didn't say that already. But now let's get right into it. So kind of let everybody know what your name is, how old you are, where you're from, and then what got you into trading.
Wow. My name is Zakar Dulce, but a lot of people call me Trade Smart. That's my Instagram name, tradesmart.z. I'm 28 years old, or should I say 28 years young. You know, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, but born in Pasadena, California, and raised in Chicago. So I'm from a little all over. What got me into trading? I remember in high school, I was in the only class that I ever liked, which was economics. Like, that was the only class that actually got me interested, because it was the first time, they talked about making money in some form. We talked about the stock market and things like that. And immediately I went home and tried to make a demo account for stock trading, and I couldn't figure it out for nothing. And I realized nobody in my family, nobody that I knew how to do that either. And from that moment on, I was like, that's what I need to do. I need to do the thing that nobody knows how to do. And eventually Forex came across me, and a lot of people hear about stuff, but the moment that I heard about it, I started doing it, like that day, that night, and I never looked back.
Damn, all right.
I was waiting for it, and it finally, came into my lap. So like a way where I could learn how to trade.
Okay, so then it all started with just like an economics class, and then it just kind of took off from there, huh?
Yeah, that piqued the interest, but it took maybe 4 years from then before Forex actually like came in front of me.
Okay, gotcha. Now, as far as like strategy goes, so the economics class sparked it, you kind of pursued it. Now, what about like strategy and how Forex came to you? Like, did you have to do your own research? Was this like a lot of trial and error? Did you take some courses? How did like you get to where you are now?
Yeah, it's been a long journey. So I've been trading now for 8 years, so we could be here all day. So I'm gonna keep it very
I get it.
short and simple. In the beginning, it was it was very basic support and resistance, like a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. It was baby pips. I started on baby pips.
Okay.
And I worked my way up. I came across Market Maker Method. That was my first time actually learning like a comprehensive strategy with different situations and indicators and things like that. Okay. But eventually, about 3 to 4 years in, I came across wave theory.
Oh, nice.
That was when I had my major breakthrough, and I feel like I became more like an expert, like a real analyst of the market. So that was my breakthrough strategy, I would say. But now I trade a combination of that with, of course, the most popular right now, which is institutional concepts.
Okay.
That's what's helped me honestly pass my funded challenge and also get paid, is honestly using those concepts to increase, risk to reward. But that was like the progression. It's been a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. No, I know. Trust me. And you've been doing 8 years. So I think I'm coming up on 8 years too. So then I get it. You get it. Now, this is super cool. You mentioned the wave theory. Now, this is new to me. I don't know what wave theory is, but I just did an interview. It was last week. It was this female trader who made like $100,000 freaking dollars.
Don't tell me she trades it too.
She did. She talked about it in the last one. I was like, first of all, I need to look into this. What is this wave? And like all the comments was like, oh my God, wave. So now I got to look it up. But give me like a little bit of an insight. What is the wave theory?
Yeah, it's so dope. It is a pattern-based strategy.
Okay.
So it does not need indicators. It's very technical, but it's a little bit intuitive because it involves high recognition of patterns.
Okay.
You have to basically have a really good memory bank of understanding different waves in the market. Patterns could be impulsive or corrective. The most important patterns would be the corrective ones, because that's when the market would be accumulating or distributing. And being able to identify those patterns can help you basically forecast the waves of the market for, whether it be the next hour, the next day, the next week, the next month, based on those patterns, because they do repeat. But they're more of a byproduct, not necessarily why the market works the way it works, but it's like a way to observe it and predict it. But it's really cool. It's a really great, way to go about trading, I believe.
Okay, absolutely. No, I believe it. Trust me. Between you and the last person I interviewed, I'm convinced. So you just give me a minute. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it's something definitely nice to be aware of. I would say it's very nice to be aware of.
Okay. Now, I would say you said that you kind of have like maybe modified a strategy. So you took some of the wave theory and some other things, and now you kind of modified your own strategy. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So I guess I wouldn't be right for me to say that I just trade like this one particular way, because it's not true. I was trading wave theory for like 4 years. So it's almost impossible for me to not see it.
Okay.
But primarily the concept that I now use is institutional concepts, because and this is good. I want to actually share this on this call. I went through a period in trading where I was highly successful. And then I went through a drought where nothing made sense anymore. And I don't know what exactly caused it, but it sparked me to learn institutional concepts, because I understood that institutional concepts allow for better entries. And I felt like I was starting to find myself on the wrong side of the market, at the bottom of a sale on an uptrend, just weird stuff like that. I was like, I don't even know how I got here, because, that's not me. So that's when I started, getting into institutional concepts. It's kind of hard to say if I can combine them. I don't really think you can combine them. It's actually really hard to put them together.
Okay.
But if you can manage to bring, I don't want to say you really can't combine it, because in fact it's, it can kind of be a little conflicting, but if you can manage to allow them to coexist a little bit, you can get some really good setups. You just got to know which one to prioritize at what time.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like they both are very true, but it's tough. It's hard to explain. I would love to have like a real conversation with people that trade both and like really talk about it, but there's not a lot of us out there.
Right. No, I mean, apparently not, since this is the first time I'm hearing of just like the wave. So this is very interesting. I mean, I'm sure, to be honest, Twitter, if you reach out, I'm coming to find that Twitter is like the trading space. Oh my God. I had no freaking idea how many traders are on Twitter.
Yeah, trading Twitter is awesome.
It is. Oh my God. I'm so into, and I just got into it. So like, I think maybe the past 3 or 4 months, like I ventured my way back to Twitter, and the Twitter community is so encouraging. It was the coolest thing ever. Okay. But anyways, next transition to the question would be, and this is a great transition, would be like kind of your psychology. So you've got the fundamentals down. What is your psychology for trading?
Yeah, psychology is super important, as anybody would say. But for me, when I first started, I started with the wrong expectations. I was, very aggressive. I wanted to figure out how to make as much as possible, as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I was very unafraid to use large lot sizes that was not relative to my account size. But it's cool to do that, because it forces you to be really good to be able to get away with it. Sometimes you have to have, good experiences to get into that. But so it made me better. So now my psychology, the most important part about my psychology is honestly just risk management.
Okay.
And then second would be patience. Third would be discipline to stop over trading, because when you feel like you see everything, it's kind of hard to stop, because it's like, well, I know what that's going to do. I know it's, you just keep going. But eventually, your brain gets tired and you don't really start to see what you think you see anymore, because you can only be so focused on trading with a sharp mind for only, so many hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, next question would be, are you a full-time trader now?
I am. I've been a full-time trader for years now.
Okay.
But I still have other streams of income, of course. So it's weird when people say like full-time. It's so funny, because how do you define a full-time trader these days anymore? Like if I wake up, some people have 600K, managing accounts. They take one trade, they made $15,000 for the day. I mean, are they a full-time trader?
Right. That's a great question.
And that's the only trade they took for the month into the payout. Like it's kind of weird. Like, no, I don't have to show up every day. I kind of maybe 3 days out of the week, 4 if I'm really feeling it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just, hit the goals and move on. But yeah, I've been trading full time, I guess, is a main source of income out of.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Now, same. And the funny thing is that, great question, like what makes you a full-time trader, is that it's really cool to kind of do these interviews and kind of get to know people, because when you think of full-time trader via like social media, you think of this person who lives on a yacht or something fucking crazy and has like Rolexes and Lambos, and they're a full-time trader. But like, I feel like you and I are like the normal, this is what actual full-time trading looks like. We have multiple streams of income. We have a normal life. Like this is, I feel like, the real version of it.
I find it very hard to not be a full-time trader and not have other streams of income. If you really are a full-time trader, you more than likely have other streams of income.
Yeah.
You're just letting that money sit. Like your mind, the how you got yourself to that point is no way that's the only thing you do. The money's doing something else that's at this point, because you're too smart to just do that.
Exactly. Yes.
So, yeah, it's funny. I don't know. We need a new term for people like that, I guess.
Agreed.
It's pretty outdated.
Okay. And the next question would be, how did you find prop firms? So you got into trading through like an economics class, and then you kind of ventured your way to like this 8-year journey of becoming a full-time day trader. And so now, how did you find prop firms? Did you have your own account at the beginning? Were you trying to do your own account and then you found prop firms?
Yeah, I absolutely was doing my own account. I had a full autonomy of my money. I could withdraw. I can deposit as much as I want, and I thought that was the advantage. So I had found out about prop firms maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but at that time, it wasn't attractive yet. The payouts was like 50-50.
Okay, yeah.
45. It wasn't really good. And the cost to do them wasn't that well as well. How much you could risk on the accounts wasn't that good. But something I've always preached to my trading communities is stay in this industry, because things are going to actually continue to get better for us. And I always predicted this. I said, look, there's going to be situations going to happen where we're going to be able to make so much more money as technology and these systems continue to advance. And lo and behold, I guess FTMO cracked the code on how to really be a successful prop firm. And that, of course, creates duplication. And then it creates competition, because somebody trying to come up is going to come up with a special that's better than theirs. And now they got to drop their price, or they got to do more. And that free market it creates such a beautiful place for consumers.
Yes.
We get to be treated properly. When it's just one or two, then, they can, it's like a monopoly, right? They can do whatever they want to you. But, as things move forward, it's been getting better. And now, like the funded trader, which is so awesome, they could do a promo code where you start off with 90% payouts if you pass. Right. Like that's really insane. When we started to take it for granted, but I've been around. This is not how it used to be.
Oh my God, right.
Opportunity to pay, with a discount code, I don't know, $450 for a 100K account, start off with 90% payouts. And oh my God, we're spoiled.
I agree.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And then the next question. So that's how you found prop firms. And I totally get it. So I also have been trading as long as you, close to, and I had no idea what prop firms were. Like I just did my own thing. Like I was certain that's how you do it. And then I didn't hear about prop firms until like maybe 1 to 2 years ago. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. If I had known about prop firms, and if they were, like you said, it's such of a great deal now, back then, I don't even know where I would be at. Like, wow, that would have made my journey like so much quicker.
It does. And I actually appreciate prop firms too, because I feel like it does put you in a position to want to trade more professionally. Being honest with myself, I could say that, hey, not my whole career trading my own personal account, that I always treat it like a business.
Yeah.
Doing the prop firms, maybe somebody doesn't treat like a business, but I feel like it's helped me approach it a little bit more seriously, with a little bit more discipline. And, maybe I'll trade my own personal account more often in the future. I'll do it every now and then, but it's kind of pointless. I
know. It's tough to go back. Yeah, I know.
But it's cool. I'm actually really grateful for prop firms.
Okay, so the next question would be, are you involved in, so TFT has like this awesome community. They have a Discord. Now, some traders go either way. Some are like, they try to stick to their own strategy and try not to let like others give a biased opinion or kind of sway their opinion or skew their opinion. I was trying to merge those two words together. So are you involved in the Discord, or do you kind of just stay your own lane?
Yeah, I'm a community person, so I pay attention as much as I can. I'm the type of person that if somebody asks a question, I don't mind, tagging and answering it. That's the type of person that I am. But I don't pay attention to other people's strategies that much. I don't mind like just observing, but I guess you gotta be really sacred with what your eyes see, because to see the wrong thing one time is like honestly for me too costly. Every time you see something that's not true, that's not that's not real, or whatever the case may be. So I'm really careful with that now. I like the Fund to Traders community though. I like the culture that Bill, the CEO, and everybody tries to bring to the community. It's very transparent. They're very, they're pretty active in there. It's good service. Yeah.
Okay, and next question would be, this is the highlight, this is the peak of the interview here, is 1, what is the payout? And then 2, let's get right into the strategy. So what's the payout?
So the first 2 weeks I did rapid challenge. So, you get payout within 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. It was 8% profit. So that payout was $6,500.
Nice.
Yeah, that's around what it was, rounding it off.
Oh yeah.
That was that payout. Yeah, we don't have to talk about future payouts, but because I haven't withdrew it yet. But I do qualify as of right now too. It's not that bad.
All right.
Yeah, that was the payout, and it came, just a disclosure for anybody. It took, because of the weekend, it took a little bit longer, but you would say it took about 3 business days. And once it hit my deal account, I think it's what it's called, deal account, it hit this within like 2-3 hours from transferring it there to my bank. So
congrats, by the way. Oh my God, that's nice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So now I would say, are you able to share your screen? Do you want to give us like an overview of your strategy? Maybe show some trades. What you got?
Yeah. So let's go ahead and disclosure. I take a lot of trades. I wish I could go into my TFT. I take a lot of trades.
Okay.
To remember everything would be tough, but I could give a few examples, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be realistic to what I do. I'm a top-down analysis type of person. So I do like to peep what is going on in the higher time frames. I'll typically even start all the way from the monthly. So let's just do gold. We'll do gold.
Okay.
Of course, gold had a nice move up. So we'll work into the setup that I actually took earlier this week. But on the daily, we did have, I guess, some people, to make it simple for some people, this would be a supply zone. Mm-hmm. So it came up to basically the high of this particular week where they open and closed right here, right? So we can go to the weekly. So this whole zone is still that same supply zone.
Okay.
Daily candle closes. So this created like a area also for anybody that does trade institutional. You have your order block or mitigation candle. But I wouldn't typically take a trade from here.
Okay.
What I like to look for is, of course, lower time frame confirmations. So the first thing that I noticed before I show this setup that I took on gold earlier this week is that I noticed that we had this low here in the market after rejecting from that, supply zone. It had a nice bearish breakdown. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I noticed, this is kind of wave theory, is that it moved in 5 waves, right? I'm not sure if the lady that you was with on the channel last time talked about that, but there are 3-wave patterns, there are 5-wave patterns. So it moved in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves, right? That actually creates what you call a completed impulse. So once they came here, this has actually created a break of structure, which means that they actually got liquidity from these lows and also created it, but they also took out a lot of buyers, right? People that were buying here got their stops hit. Right? Mm-hmm. And what will happen is the market will move up and it will take out not only the liquidity from all the little highs that were made, but it'll also fill what we call imbalance. So I'll make it super simple. When this candle came down, it only offered sales. So they'll buy back into that, right? To mitigate and also take out, those orders that is trapped within these candles. Because remember, they sold fast. This move, these 3 candles really only offer. I look at the tops. I think a lot of people point this out. It's not a lot of wick at the top, Like this candle really had a wick. This candle had a very small little wick, and it just, kept dropping. Mm-hmm. So this is actually a very good target area, and it's still the same, supply area too. Now that we just looked at the 1 hour, I would drop down to the 15 minute. This may seem like a lot, but this happens over like a period of time.
Right.
It's kind of like, sipping your coffee, just watching. So we have this structure here. So this trade wouldn't get really good until they re-break structure, because it's not impossible that they could try to go up higher, maybe try to take out this high or make it
whatever
the case may be. But once they break this structure, and they also did this one too, so here goes a bonus points. They came down, and it's a really nice strong move, very reminiscent of actually this move here, where they just offered a lot of selling but no buys, where they had to come back. So that happens here too. And what I learned and use a lot now is basically imbalance plays. So between this wick and between this wick, there was no buying. It leaves a void of buys. So I will mark it up like this. This, for me, denotes an imbalance. And this area after a break of structure, and typically if it qualifies by being above the 50%, so above 50%, 61.8, 70, maybe up to 78.6.
Okay.
If it falls within that area, is typically going to be very high probability. I would never look for this alone, but with everything that we just talked about before, it's kind of only one thing that could happen.
Okay.
Nothing's ever perfect. The market is always right. So whatever it does, it's not like, oh, ego, this has to happen. But your probabilities are really good. And that's the point. Okay.
Yeah.
So I took gold the moment. Oh, where was it? It was somewhere in this point. Really nice. I can really see. I have a picture of this. Probably gone. I want to put the exact spot. Hold on. Okay, so it was right here. Boom. Right? Stop loss above, kind of like above the wick of this candle.
Okay.
And then, so how I do my targets is almost any low is a target, and I kind of will see how it responds. So I ultimately ended up pulling out most of this order here. I didn't hold it for the rest. Look at all this, what it did. Oh my God.
I know, but damn, that was still an excellent exit. At least for that time. I mean, you would have had
because now you had to wait a very long time, and then NFP is too, for a rapid account, you don't want to be caught during, NFP news, because you'll lose your account. So, but yeah, this was pretty good. I think exit was more like right here or something. But this is a decent trade. Like I said, high probability. And I also caught the cousin of this trade as well on silver. So basically, it's the same thing right here.
Yes.
This exact area is where I caught silver, right there. So these happened at the same time.
Yeah.
They were very similar setups. And of course, basically TP below the low that it came from. So those are two setups I actually caught earlier. And it's kind of the same breakdown. If I actually zoom out, you'll see many of the same things that happen, right?
Yeah.
Situation where they came and took out, a major high. They dropped very aggressively, showing, change in structure. They clearly broke structure there. A nice pullback into those areas where they were only offering selling. Mm-hmm. In the lower time frame, break of structure. And then I can just target above the 50%. There's an imbalance. That's typically where they like to go to, take out these moves. And they do this over and over again. So for example, I didn't take this, but this is a good example of the same thing, where if you just duplicate everything that I just did, it does it all over again. Where we took out a high, we break this structure here, pull back into this imbalance, or I had another term for some people is fair value gap. And that actually was the move that started off the NFP. This honestly helps me. I can, like I said, I take a lot of trades. I can go through a nice losing streak. I am not a perfect trader,
Right.
But when you trade this way, it gives you some really good risk to reward where you can kind of come back from anything if you just manage your risk properly.
Okay.
That is the benefits of trading in the way that I trade, without making it too complicated, because I can get, really nerdy when it comes down.
No, I'm into it. That was very fair. That was very clear. Totally into that. Elementary, at least for me. So I'm sure it was for some of our viewers also.
Good. There's definitely different levels of trading talk, but I think that's really enough. It's so much to show. It's not like I can't just say, hey, when it goes off the 50 EMA and crosses and comes, it's not that simple. It's so many different, little variations of things you can look for. But this particular variation I would say is one of the most powerful ones to find.
Okay. And from what I'm seeing so far, this one seems very, very hands-on, very almost, this is probably a dumb term to use, but it just seems very artistic and hands-on, like very intuitive. Like this just seems like you are very in tune with the market using this.
You have to have full focus. If you're not a person that can maintain a really strong level of focus and really be able to identify clearly, it does take a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I would say that I practiced this particular setup for maybe over a year.
Okay. Excellent.
It became more like automatic. It takes some time, but it's worth it. It is definitely worth it.
Oh no, I'm seeing that so far already.
Yeah, that was good. I could show a bunch. Like I said, I take a lot of trades. I probably took 100 trades. I don't know why I take so many trades, but that's it. I don't know if there's any other questions regarding the charts that you would like to ask.
I would say before we hop off, this was excellent. To be honest, out of all of the interviews I've done, this is the most in-depth of a strategy that I have seen to date. So this is excellent. Oh my God, I'm sure our viewers are going to drool over this. I would say before.
I used to teach. So.
Okay, makes total sense then. You're doing excellent. Oh my God, that makes total sense.
Thank you.
I would say the few other questions I had are, and I'm looking at them now at your watch list here, would be just how many pairs do you trade and kind of what does your normal day look like? I know you said you had a big trading week, but let's just say a basic day, you're getting up and you're trading. Kind of walk me through just what a normal trade day looks like.
Yeah, good question. So now I only trade instruments that have correlation with the US dollar and some. That way, overall, I don't have to have mixed biases about the market. So this is how it breaks down. If US dollar is DXY is going up, then gold is going down. Great Britain pound is going down. Euro US dollar is going down. USD JPY is going up. Indices are probably going down if DXY is going up. It's really that simple. There are moments when they don't do it, things lose correlation, but you will typically notice, and what you'll do, is honestly perfectly fine. You just find which instrument is most in harmony with the DXY at that time, because some things go out of harmony because of other factors going on, in the world or whatever the case may be. So right now, what you see is what I trade. I will trade basically any of the indices, not any of the indices, there's a lot of indices, but NAS, US30, SPX.
Okay.
I don't trade the DXY, but I use it for bias. Gold, I just started back testing and implementing silver, but it moves very similar to gold, so it's not that hard.
Right.
Euro US dollar, zero spreads with TFT during major sessions, huge help. And Great Britain pound, because it does have some moves. If anybody was following pound has some of the largest sales in its history in a while. Of course, also dropping off historically, it's almost insane to not, keep an eye on it as to how much it can move. The other week, it's so crazy. I honestly could have called this. I had an entry from the top here, but I did not expect the 800 pip drop. But, I literally took profit right before the low, and it just kept going. But I kind of should have expected that they might have a drop off soon because it had broke this major structure. But yeah, I pay attention to GU because it has the potential to make huge moves.
Yeah,
and could give you a nice entry to take it to. And I like UJ. UJ typically moves opposite of gold, and which is cool. And the secret with UJ is that it actually doesn't pay out a lot per pip. It pays out only about 70% per pip compared to Euro or Great Britain pound.
Okay, interesting. Good to know. Other one would be, what is your, let's just say a brief overview of your day. You get up, you're getting ready to trade. What's that look like?
I typically prepare my charts the night before. I typically stay heavily away from London. I typically do. And typically it doesn't go well for me if I try to wake up for London. It doesn't go well for me doing New York. I feel like my brain is pretty fried because of how much focus I put into it.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge New York trader, and I like to trade around right after 9:30. So between 9:45 and 10, I find that that's a good time to find turns in the market because at 9:30, the New York Stock Exchange opens, and it brings typically maybe a stop hunt into the market, and then they'll go in the true direction until like lunchtime or something. So that is kind of like my routine. I don't do anything special. It's very important for anybody on here that you actually eat, drink lots of water.
Oh my God, yes, please.
Some people don't know that, but you literally could be trading half drunk and really messed up if you don't have like your blood sugar levels need to be really good and all of that to actually trade really good. Is like you're physically healthy. Like you should take care of yourself to the utmost best physically to trade good. If not, you're not going to do well. So I make sure that I put something on my stomach, and stay very hydrated. And I just get to it. And I try to not be on there very long because, like I said, I have the habit to try to overtrade. If I can get to my goal, whether it be 1%, for the day or whatever, if I can get to it, I try to delete the app off my phone.
Whatever I do.
Delete the app off my phone. On the Funded Trader, I'll hide the visibility of the account and, go about my day. That way, if I think I see a setup, it would take me having to log all the way back in, find, the account all over again and make me rationalize, like, is this really worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you keep your trading chart open, access to you, you can end up trading because you're bored. You end up trading because something's not going right in your life. So you want to feel a win and you'll take it out on the market to actually bring, a win into your life for the day. And you got to make sure because the market's not for all of that. And all we know, the market has no heart. It don't care how your day was. You could it don't matter who died that day. It does not matter. You just got into an accident. It does not matter. The market will take the rest of everything in your life from you. So, that's why I put those precautions. I'll delete the app. And that's me clocking out, I guess. Right. Yeah. I try to get out the house. Cause like I said, you don't want to get bored because then you'll try to do it. Cause it could kind of be exciting. Not supposed to be, but it can be if, I try to stay away from that.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Absolutely. Okay. I'd say that's all we got for the charts. That was, to be honest, I'm super excited to see how this video does because this is the most in-depth chart analysis, strategy breakdown we've had. And this is what everyone keeps asking for. And we finally freaking got somebody that was like, I got you. Let me just break it down for you. This is great. All right. Then I would say before we hop off, I always ask this question and I know you can take this and run with it. And this is it's kind of advice for traders who they've got a strategy. They're not quite getting the payout. Maybe they're even funded and they just haven't maybe they haven't found their edge. Maybe they're getting discouraged. What's just some advice for overall traders that just haven't quite gotten that payout yet?
I told a guy this earlier, and I think this is very important. So when you're in these Discord chats, people reach out to you and say, how did you do it? And then they'll say all the negative things going on in their life, or how they're low on money and funds. And I think the reality is that I think the first step, and if this is you, the first step is you absolutely have to get a savings built up and get some type of cash flow built up because there needs to be an element of I don't need the profits. Okay. You're not trading for the money, that you're trading for the experience and to do it correctly. And that the money will be a byproduct of doing it correctly. Now, there are people that have the money and maybe they lack the patience or they lack the strategy. And then for them, I say, work on, your discipline. And then in terms of strategy, I recommend learning institutional concepts and take it very serious. I know I used to come across strategies and I didn't know to take it serious. But if you come across some good training videos on it, take it very serious. Study it like a Bible, practice it. Pay for TradingView so you can go back. Absolutely. Practice, invest in yourself. It's just a small investment. And, that's what I would say to those individuals. And I think that you can't go wrong if you don't give up. You know, it's a journey and it's not like a one destination. It's never like I made it. You have to stay humble. And no matter what I make, there's people that's doing what I do in a millisecond.
Oh, I know.
You know, what I focus so hard on, it's one pip for them. And with that, it keeps, keep yourself humble.
Absolutely.
So you always keep learning. I'm 8 years in, I study like a dog.
Exactly. Yes. Same. Like it doesn't stop. Like the self-education, the work that you can always put in, like it doesn't stop. It's a never ending process.
Yeah, it doesn't stop, but it pays off. That's what it does do.
All right, then that's what we're here to let everybody know. It pays off. We got the payout. I hope you guys got as much information as you possibly could from this. I took about 1,000 mental notes. I'm already going to go look up the wave theory. Remind me, it's
institutional concepts and wave theory.
Fair enough. Easy enough. All right. If you guys didn't hear it, you hear it here.